Okay, Lee, it is a sad day here in Boston. My beloved Patriots got smoked yesterday in the Super Bowl. Now I would imagine that 90% of the audience in our community right now is celebrating them at that because there are a lot of Patriot haters out there and tired of us winning everything. So I woke up this morning very depressed. Took me a little bit longer to get out of bed, as a diehard Patriots fan.
Slow morning.
It was a little bit of a slow morning, but listen, I want everyone to give me a lot of credit that I'm here on campaign kickoff call.
That's right.
Okay, I'm only going to mention it two or three more times, but I'll tell you what gives me solace, Lee. Okay, tell you what gives me solace is that even in our darkest moments as Patriots fans, I have to remind myself that it could be worse. I could be a Jets fan,
In Atlanta.
or or a Falcons fan,
I
or a
was at the
Browns fan.
28-3 Super Bowl, by the way. It was
Oh
That's
yeah,
another
oh
story
yeah.
for another day.
I'll watch that to get myself cheered back up. But listen, we are here for campaign kickoff, and we're here because we want to make sure that, despite what's going on in your lives, despite any type of distractions you may have,
Setbacks.
setbacks you might have, we want to put you in a position where every week we walk you through the marketing plan of the week. Part of what we talk about in these calls is we want to make sure that not only do we go through the specific tactics, but we give you the higher level overview to understand the strategy behind the tactics. And I'm joined by my main man, Lee Atkins, who's on the call with us right now. Lee, before we dive into campaign kickoff call, I know we always get a bunch of housekeeping items we want to cover. What's worth sharing before we get into the details of today's session?
Yeah, so number one, these are always recorded. I'll post them in the Facebook group after. I'll drop a link to the Facebook group in just a second. Be sure you are joined there. But basically, we run down the week's plan, what we're recommending for you to do to generate results from leads you already have, and maybe generate some new leads and add them into the feed and keep the party going.
That's exactly right. And so we cover this in there's going to be a lot of material to cover over the next 28 minutes here, but there's three things that are really important. The plan that we developed for you, the plan that you see people in our mastermind group like sharing their wins and successes, the plan that you see has helped so many people in this community, the thousands and thousands of people who are part of listing leads get results, is based on three basic ideas. Number one, it is what can we do to engage your existing database every week? What can we do to email them, post on social, people who follow you, to kind of get them to sort of like remind them that you exist? Familiarity breeds trust. Number two, once we create all this engagement, how do we drive them down the funnel? How do we take those opportunities and convert them into appointments? And then finally, number three, we want to make sure that we're always growing our database, always growing our audience, always reaching more people. We don't have people who are not ambitious who are part of listing leads. You join listing leads because you want to grow. You want to get some more predictability in your business. You want to maybe your goal this year is to get to like $150,000 in GCI. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to get to like 600, $700,000 in GCI. Everything is based on your ability to be consistently executing against a plan, and that's what we provide at Listing Leads. So on that note, Lee, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to get right into it. Every week when you log into Listing Leads, and by the way, we have a lot of newbies on the call every week. If you're a newbie, just let me know in the chat. Just drop a W in the chat right now if you're new to Listing Leads and this is the first campaign kickoff call. And for all my OGs, put an OG in the chat for us. I want to see who's on today's call with us today. So Lee, when you log into Listing Leads, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to see on the left-hand side, you're going to see the listing attraction plan. When you click on that, you're going to see what this week's marketing plan looks like. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk you through exactly what is on the plan. Now, before I do that, I have one quick feature update that I want to walk you through. One of the things that we asked our community is what could we do? What could we do to help you improve the results you get? And I would say universally across the board, Lee, everyone has been asking us for help with accountability.
Right.
Like how many of you just right now in the chat right now, let me know, put a W in the chat. How many of you just need more help with accountability? Like, hey, you're doing some of the things, but you need to be more consistent. You're executing when you have time, but you're maybe just struggling to kind of put yourself in a position where you're kind of building momentum. And you can just see here, right? Kelly, Mia, Monique, Sandra, Barbara, James, Jasmine. I mean, Sandra Struggle Bus. Yes, we've all been there. So here's one really simple thing that we've done for you, which is you'll notice in the top right-hand part of the page when you log into listing leads, you'll see a new option called calendar integration. You guys can see this all on the top right-hand side. We now can actually sync the marketing plan to your Google Calendar. We'll add Outlook very shortly after this, but we can now sync to Google. So if you click on this calendar option, I'll go into my account settings here. It will bring you to an option to basically connect your calendar. I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect my calendar for now, and I'll walk through this workflow here so you guys can all see this. This might take a hot second. But now, Lee, now when I go to click on connect my calendar, can everyone see this, by the way, when you're in here? Can everyone see this, like this calendar option? When you're in here, click on Google Calendar. It will pull up a dialog box that asks you which calendar to sync to. I'm going to choose a listing leads calendar here. Okay, great. I'm going to allow access. And we use a tool called Nihilus to help us facilitate this. And now you can see my calendar is synced. Now you can choose which calendar you want to, some of you have like secondary calendars. I'm just going to use my primary calendar. I would highly recommend using your primary calendar. And you can actually decide what time of the day do you want to basically do your marketing. Now, I'm always a eat the elephant kind of guy, or what they say, eat the frog, Lee, like do
Yeah,
the
eat the
hard thing.
frog.
I eat the frog and the elephant, Lee.
And
Like,
right, right.
I mean, like I want to do the hard thing in the morning. What's the thing that's just like get me some momentum going into the business? And so you could set the time you want to basically do it. There we go. You can choose your time zone, and then you can connect your calendar. Once you've done that, your calendar is now synced. Now, this is really cool because what you're going to see is when you go to your Google Calendar, you're going to see your listing leads task of the day on your Google Calendar for whatever your preferred time is. And the beauty of this, I hope you guys appreciate this. The beauty of this is that you'll see that it's going to give you all the details and it will link you back to the campaign. Okay? It will link you back to the campaign. Yeah, I would highly recommend using Google Chrome for this. If you're not using Google Chrome, I would not use Safari as an example to do this. But now, Lee, if I see, hey, today's deal of the week for Instagram, I can literally click on that, and it will bring me directly to the deal of the week Instagram post, which I'm supposed to do today. And so this is a new feature. Like any new feature, we want to basically make sure that our diehard community part of Campaign Kickoff are on these calls with us. So let us know once your calendar is synced. Give us a thumbs up in the chat. Now your calendar, now listing leads is on your calendar. Huge, huge opportunity to have accountability. This is what I refer to as a don't make me think moment. You sync your calendar one time, and now your calendar is synced. Now, what's really cool is you'll notice that with listing leads, we have the section on the left-hand side called campaigns. And these are all of our historical campaigns that we have. Social shareables, direct mail templates, email campaigns, voice and text scripts. Let's say as an example, Lee, I wanted to create can you actually sell in the spring? Okay. Let's say as an example, I'll take an example for let me just make sure my calendar is synced here. Cool. Yep. Okay. I'll just sync it now. Awesome. All right. If I wanted to add an event, and I might have to log out and log back in here for a second. There we go. Cool. So by the way, I would recommend refreshing your page. So refresh your page to make sure you see this feature. You should see the green, when it's connected, you see a green dot next to the icon there. Okay. So it should be a green dot. If it's yellow, just refresh the page for me. So Lee, now if I go to direct mail templates, I'll go back to that page there. You'll notice we have our favorite feature we've had for a while now. You could favor your favorite campaigns in our library. But then Lee, also, I can click this calendar icon here and I could add this specific campaign to my calendar.
Pick and choose.
And so now if I go back to my plan, it will include, right? It will include some custom ones I've added, right, to my plan, which will also be on my calendar as well. You see, it just literally showed up right there. And so are you guys with me on this? Like this is a very,
it's like a planning feature as well, right? You can go in and say, hey, I want to do direct mail once a month. Let me pop a direct mail template in.
That's exactly right. And you could share, with Google Calendar, you can share that calendar with your marketing assistant, or you have it there available for you. But this is a really simple feature that we want to add that would help you with accountability, so you never have to think. Now, here's the really cool thing. I think things like the ZMA campaign, which is a direct mail template, is a no-brainer campaign. Things like your best just sold campaign. I might just add one a month, come in here and add like my favorite just sold campaign. And instead of doing a just sold every single week or every time I sell a house, every month I'm going to basically do a just sold campaign like Scott Stedman style around like, hey, this home, most homes don't sell in the winter. This one did. Magic buyer. How many people in the community who join the community go, Jimmy, like what's the best thing I can do to get results right now for direct mail? I'm always like magic buyer. You now can literally go to a magic buyer campaign as an example and just add it to the your calendar for that month. And that's a type of innovation that I think is going to just help you when it comes to being super consistent with your planning. Okay. So now on that note, I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the ones I've already created just because I want to show what this week looks like here for you. And then we'll get started. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? Hit us up. Let us know. Support at listingleads.com. Lee's here to help dive into any kind of questions. We'll try to troubleshoot them live on the air with you. But just give me a W in the chat if this is the type of feature that you can see yourself using to help you be more accountable with your campaigns. I mean, I want to make sure I share this for the feedback with the team. We're trying to do really simple things to help it make it easier for you to be simpler in that and simpler in terms of execution. Awesome. Thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Sandra. Sandra, we're going to get you off the struggle bus here, get you back on the high speed rail here. Okay. Awesome. Now let's get into this week's plan. Every week, deal of the week. We kick it off on Mondays without fail. You'll notice that we actually have a deal of the week. This is an example of what we're seeing trending on social media, which is like these interactive kind of images. We now have, you can see here, Auburn deal of the week, 3 bedroom, 2,100 square feet, under 800K, huge kitchen, right? Beautiful graphic. This thing is going to pop in the feed. You can, of course, use an image like of your area. This is kind of like a traditional suburb town. If your area looks different, you can use a background there as well. You'll notice that with the deal of the week, we now include the nano prompt. So if I click on copy this, I can jump over to Gemini. I can go ahead and create a new chat, and I can just paste that prompt in there, and it will. I'm sorry, I actually screwed that up. Hold on one second. Let's try that again. Paste the prompt in there and make sure that you choose image. Okay, so don't choose auto, choose image, and then hit go. And what will happen is Nano Banana will use the prompt that we created for you at Listing Leads to be able to generate a perfect image that you can use for your social media. Now you can see here, there's some like small image issues with this image, right? It's got an extra checkbox. So I just come in here and say, okay, let's make it a little bit more readable from the angle and let's remove the extra checkbox. So like anything with AI, it might require maybe an additional kind of prompt to clean it up as an example here. But now you have that prompt built in so you can basically clean that image up and you can create a deal of the week image. Now, this may sound silly to you, but what we're trying to really do with this is we're really just trying to stand out in the feed. We're trying to have stopping power. That's all we're trying to do. When you're doing something that's like the same thing every single week and you know it works, part of the challenge is making sure that you push it a little bit further to find kind of new and creative ways to communicate the same thing. So Lee, as I'm pulling this up here, could you maybe talk a little bit about how, in terms of using like deal of the week, what the purpose of deal of the week is? Because I know we have some newbies on the call who don't know that
Yeah.
that tool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important. A lot of times people, have concerns about sending out someone else's listing or things like that. So the essence is, we're curating a deal of the week in your market. We're finding something that's legitimately interesting to people, but we're not sending out the actual information. We're sending out an email that has the idea of this house that is a real
Hmm.
house. And I know agents are really used to sending out listings, right? Like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Do you like this? Do you want to see it? The whole idea is to engage people in your database that are looking for a deal. They're actively looking to purchase or sell. So the only call to action is a reply. And that's really important. We want it to be a simple, feel like you just wrote them an email type of thing that they can reply to and say, hey, yes, I'm interested in more information.
Yep.
So this is also gets us around having permission to share someone else's listing because you're not sharing it. You're sharing the principle of it.
That's right. That's right. And so I'll say here a couple things. So we have the Instagram post. You do the Instagram post as a story. You make sure to include a call to action, which is again used to be a conversation starter. Now, if I come back, we also have the deal of the week email. In this case, like we're just basically giving you another variation of this. This listing's blowing up online right now. I've been watching this one rack up views. It dropped on this date. Here's all the details of the home. Want me to send over the full listing before it gets more traction? And so this email here is you can actually use, if you're not using Better Email yet, you can actually use automate.listingleads.com.deal to find a
Yep.
good deal. We built this free tool for you right there. And you could use that tool to find a good deal in your area. We'll analyze all of Zillow's best performing listings that week, and we'll find one that you could use. But I would use this script here for the deal of the week, which is basically, again, a variation on the deal of the week campaign. And so every week, we start the week off. We want to engage your following on social media through a story because only followers see stories. And we want to make sure that we're emailing your database. As a general rule of thumb, Monday's emails are really for prospects. Tuesday's emails are really for everyone. That's kind of generally how we do it. So the three kind of categories we talk about at listing leads is your prospects, your clients, and everyone. And I want to get everybody on today's call a lot more comfortable sending a lot more emails. And so that's Monday, deal of the week, email, deal of the week, social media post. Now, going to Tuesday, we have the email of the week. And now this is a really interesting one because this is the story that we found this past week around the fact that the market is shifting and people don't know about this. A quick update on the market. I came across a useful mortgage data and I want to share with you. In 2012, fewer than 1 in 10 homeowners had a rate above 5%. Today, it's 1 in 3. When more owners aren't locked into low rates, more homes come to the market. That's usually the point when timing starts to matter more. Want me to run the numbers on your home so we can see what acting early versus later looks like. So this is a combination, Lee, of two kind of concepts we have at listing leads, which is number one, and you guys have heard me say this, the three most important words in sales: bring something new. And so what we're doing with this campaign is we're bringing them some new data that's worth sharing. And the second thing we're doing in this campaign is we're sort of trying to gauge on whether this person is actually looking to make a move now or later. We're trying to understand whether this individual is in the market today or maybe will be a future deal down the road. And so that simple CTA, which is want me to run the numbers on your home so you can see what acting earlier versus later looks like, it's a low commitment call to action. The exact opposite of this is, hey, are you thinking about selling your house? If so, reply to this email. You guys have heard me say this before. Like selling's a big decision. We want to make it a small decision. This is like sometimes you want to have these big commitments. Okay. It's a big decision, it's a big commitment. We're looking for small commitments to get some momentum. I always say this: friction is a tax on your revenue. And if you add too much friction engage with you, you are affecting your revenue in a really negative way here. So, bottom line with this email is we want this going out to everybody in your database, not just your leads. Okay. So, I'll come back to the plan here for a second. Monday, you've done the post on social media. Monday, you've done the email to your prospects. Tuesday, you sent the email to your entire database. What has happened now is you got a bunch of people in your CRM who have lit up. All right. They have opened up the email. They've clicked on the email. I don't care, Lee, if you got a 5% open rate on your emails, 10% open rate on your emails, 20% open rate on your emails. Doesn't make a difference. If you send these two emails, you're going to have, even if you have a smaller database, like 300, 400 people, you're going to have at least 50 people, some of you, literally thousands of people who have engaged with your content. That's exactly what we want to happen every week, especially early in the week. Because now, when we get into our power hour scripts, we want to follow up with people who opened up the email with this exact text message. So we write power hour scripts every single week. And these power hour scripts are designed to say, you have this large database of 1,000 people. Okay, I want everyone to just visualize this for a second. You've got this large database of 1,000 people. Okay. You email them twice, some prospects, some clients. Now, those 1,000 people become like 150 people that have engaged. Those 150 people are now your prospecting lists for that week. And the beauty of this strategy is number one, it's insanely simple: email and then text. Number two is it's always going to be new people that you're going to have a chance to follow up with. And even if it's existing people, the good news is we know that it takes 6 or 7 or 8 follow-ups to be able to get someone to sort of like say, yes, I'm interested, which is why every week we write you a brand new Power Hour script. Because we're not just going to say, hey, Lee, it's Jimmy checking in. Hey, Lee, just following up with you. Every week we're writing a new script designed to get you to say, if that angle didn't work that week, I'm going to try this other angle and this other angle and this other angle. And it's always timely. It's always relevant. So let me come back here for a second. And actually, real quickly in the chat, super quickly, like, does that concept make sense? This sort of this lead conversion funnel that we're talking about right now, email and then followed by text. Is everyone clear on that? I mean, I cannot overemphasize how important this is to you getting results fast and consistently, which is every week you're emailing. Now that you have a calendar integration, it's on your calendar, right? Or if you're using better email, it's automated. And then now you've got to follow up with that text message. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Come back to the script here because I'll break the script down for you. Which is, hey, Lee, it's Jimmy. You might have missed my email yesterday, but I've been getting a lot of replies, so I thought I'd text you. So what I'm doing here, Lee, let me just stop real quick, this opening line. This is something that is acknowledging the fact that they get a lot of emails and seeding with them that there are other people who are interested in what I just shared. So this is like the old PT bottom line you've heard me say before, which is nothing draws a crowd quite like a crowd. And so, a great example of this that we see every day, whether you're using like Peacock or HBO Max, or I don't know what it's called these days, actually, because they changed the name like 20 times, Netflix, Prime, Apple TV, most of the streaming services have this specific tagline on a movie. Of course, they have the new ones, the trending, but they also have one called Leaving Soon. And the Leaving Soon tag, by the way, let me know in the chat, when you see the quote unquote Leaving Soon tag when you're watching streaming shows, what do you immediately think about doing? I don't know about you, Lee, like I immediately think like, well, maybe I should watch it before
You're gonna
like
miss it.
right, like Harry's like watch the show. Like I didn't even want to watch Bridgerton, but if it's leaving, all right, like I'll give
All
it.
right.
All right, I'll give it a go. That's what I tell people, right? So like, this is the kind of power of James, you're exactly right. Leaving Soon's it's a great tactic. This is the power of psychology with your marketing. So I've been getting a lot of replies, so I thought I would text you. Communicates in a really clear way. Hey, listen, this thing's already going viral. I'm already getting people interested in this. Now nothing draws a crowd quite like a crowd. Now I'm like getting their attention. Would it be helpful if I went ahead and ran those numbers so you have them? This is using a technique called the endowment effect in our psychology, which is like giving someone something so they already feel like they have it. So instead of basically saying yes, you're kind of like getting it taken away is the point. So here's what I want you to do. Again, not just templates, not just campaigns, but strategy is I want you sending the email out. I want you sending the social media post out. I want you doing the email to your entire database. Now you got a bunch of people engaged. Now I want you texting them with your Power Hour script. Lee, you can do 10, 15, 20 a day. Doesn't need to be like something where you're doing like, 100 in one day. You can use mass texting tools, but personally, highest ROI for your time is probably just going to get your phone out, right? And just start banging through some one-off text messages, people, right? I mean, just pull up your Apple iMessages on your computer or on your phone. Just go bang, 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 or within your CRM, bang, 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 bang. If you, let me know in the chat right now, would adding $100,000 in GCI to your business this year be a really meaningful moment for you? Because listen, we got some people who are probably up in the 7 figures range, but would adding $100,000 in GCI be meaningful to you? Okay, I am telling you right now, I am literally going to guarantee you on this call, if you do this technique, just this technique every week, you'll add $100,000 in GCI. Not just in the month of February, Lee,
Right.
not a few times in February and then maybe sometimes in March and then maybe like I'll take the spring off because I'm busy and then I'll come back in the summer when I'm desperate. No, no, no. If you just make this an SOP every single week, just send the 2 emails and then follow up with 50 to 100 text messages. You will add $100,000 in GCI. The reason I know this is because when we built the 100K and 100-day program, we helped generate over $20 billion in sales within basically 100 days. The big lesson we learned is conversations equal closings. 11 conversations equals a closing. This is the conversation engine that we're building. All right, so now let's move on to the end of the week. As we mentioned before, our goal isn't just to engage your database and then convert our database. We always want to be growing our database. So we have our social media posts of this week, which is, I love this one. This is a kind of a go-to one that we haven't used in a while, which is why we brought it back, which is if I could sell my house for blank, I would list it this spring. So, like, if I'm Nick Shoemaker right now on today's call, Nashville Nick, and by the way, you guys should all follow Nashville Nick in our community, follow her on social media, send her a DM. She's just this incredible ball of energy, this sort of sunshine in our community who's just always sharing positive wins and success stories and really in a transparent, authentic way. And I absolutely love it. I know she's got like this blue collar mindset and work ethic that I really gravitate towards. And you could see Casey, she's amazing. Totally agree. So, Nashville Nick, this would be a great one to text your SOI to. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I don't even call her Nick. I just call her Nashville Nick because that's her branding, which I love, by the way. So you can't call her
That's
just
her
Nick
full name.
Shoemaker.
Nashville Nick.
It's
Nashville
Nashville
Nick.
Nick. Okay. So this is a, by the way, this is a killer one that we have for social media. But if I was, let's say Nick was one of my clients, I might say, hey Nick, I like this question is going to come way out of the blue, but I just got to ask if I want you to fill in the blank for me. If I could sell my house for blank, I would list this spring. And this is just a great thought experiment. So if you guys want to if you guys want a quick pro tip, and by the way, this is a reason to show up to campaign kickoff because this is hard to communicate elsewhere. If you want a quick pro tip, I would always try to repurpose some of these Thursday stories into like 10 or 15 texts to my SOI. And so I challenge you, like give me a thumbs up in the chat right now or a yes in chat. Like how many of you are willing to do this with like 10 to 20 clients this week? Like let's get some accountability in this chat right now. Just text your clients, right? I love it. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks, Aaron. Text your clients this week. It can be today, it could be next like this coming Thursday or Friday.
Put it in your
But
calendar.
put
You
it
grab a
in the
script and throw it
calendar.
in your
Okay,
calendar right
it's
now.
in the calendar, Lee. Right? It's already in the calendar. So like it's hey Nick, just out of curiosity, right? Just out of curiosity, I would love to get your answer to this question. If I could sell my house for blank, I would list my home this spring. Can't wait to hear your answer. Can we just drop that text script in the chat here, Lee?
Yeah,
Which is,
absolutely.
hey, just out of curiosity, I would love to get your answer. Right? Or in this case, I would say, hey, just out of curiosity, I would love to get your answer to this. Like, if I could sell my house for blank, I would list my home this spring. Can't wait to hear from you. And it's just such a killer conversation starter. And by the way, when they give you that number, now you can quickly go check that number and see how realistic that number actually is. And what's funny is when we've done this in the past, Lee, clients have reached out and been like, oh, actually, it's really funny you reached out to me because we're actually we're thinking about
Right.
this, right? We're thinking about this. And it's such a great conversation starter. Okay. So last campaign for this week, and be sure to let me know in the chat right now. This is really important. How many of you are looking to get more business from YouTube in 2026? It's a big goal for me by the end of Q1 to really get this dialed in. Like, how many of you are fully committed to YouTube and going into 2026? Hey, Julia, Robin, yep, Michael. Like, and the reason why I think many of you, because like it's the thing I would say about YouTube, real quickly before I show the last campaign here, like, is this idea like this is an important concept that we've been shaping internally at Listing Leads. Is like we call them pillars and posts. So a pillar is a foundational piece of content in which your brand stands on top of. So many of us are really like posting on social media a lot, lots of stories, lots of like short form videos. Those are great. Those are great for grabbing attention. They're great for showing up in the feed. They're great for basically just making sure that people know we exist and reaching new people. But every serious brand is built on pillar content. What do I mean by that? Longer form, more in depth content where your customers can spend more time on brand. This is having a really in depth newsletter about the market that's really well crafted. This is having a podcast. This is long form blog posts and articles, maybe even monthly market reports that you publish a PDF and mail out. This, of course, is YouTube longer form videos. And so, as an example, Campaign Kickoff, Lee, is a pillar piece of content for our community. Now,
Right.
this is only
And it's
available
done
list.
what? Consistently, it's done.
It's consistently, it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes every single week. It's a way for you to get to know me and Lee. It's a way for us to interact as a community. And so, if I did this in a 30-second video, you wouldn't have the maybe emotional connection you have to me. And I'm not saying you guys have this emotional connection to me. All I'm saying is if you met me in person, which many of you have met me in person, like I'm exactly as I am on this video, I am in person, right? And so that's the benefit of having longer form pillar content. So the reason why every Friday, I'll come back to sharing this, the reason why every Friday is a YouTube video is we actually use our YouTube video library, which we update every single week of the most viral videos across social media. This is the largest, most comprehensive, most handcrafted library of videos about real estate agents who have done really well getting exposure in the industry that the industry's ever created. Okay. I mean, this thing is incredible. So what we do is we take that library that we update every week and we create a campaign for you for that particular week, and we give you the show flow, we give you the title, we give you the video description, we give you the thumbnail to use that you can personalize with Canva. We give it all to you. And so in this case, all you have to do is take the show flow PDF as an example, and this is everything that you need to throw into AI to build a video script. So in this case here, this particular video, as you can see here, is like I found two identical homes, X minutes apart. The price difference is insane. And so what you're doing here is like this is you comparing how price has a huge impact based on location. So you'd find two very similar homes or homes that are like, basically identical, either same square footage, same bedroom, bathroom count. They don't actually have to physically be like literally the same house. But like, listen, I found two houses that are identical in Auburn, New Hampshire. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,500 square feet. This other one's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,500 square feet, just about 3,500 square feet. One is listed for $1 million. The other one is listed for $650,000. Let's break this down. And like this, like that's the kind of angle here that does insanely well. So you can take this concept, right, Lee? Take the show flow notes, find two homes, and then say, all right, create a video script based on this video script with these two houses, fill in the details. And then you can use that like in front of me right now, there's a teleprompter like app. Well, it's actually a teleprompter set with the iPad. I could then create the script and then throw it in front of the camera here, right? And then read it. Now, in the future, you're going to have an 11 Labs, voice clone. You're going to have an avatar for yourself, and you're going to be able to do all this automated. But for now, I think there's some power in you just getting really good at this as part of what you do. So the flow here, this is going to take more than 10 minutes. I just want to be clear, but that's kind of the point of pillar content is that kind of getting your rhythm is get the PDF, add in the specific details around the particular listings. I would use OpenAI for this, generate the script, throw it into a teleprompter app, and then do the 7 to 8 minute video on these two homes. And you could just literally read through it. And then what you can do from there is you can either have a videographer on Fiverr or within your network. I guarantee you there's some videographers who need some more work as it relates to this because they're all having to deal with losing business to AI, which is crazy to me. Like you like pay your videographer. I'm not just saying that because my videographer is on the other side of this camera, right? Okay. Okay. All right, Eric, cover your ears. All right. So you could maybe do this with AI, but you should pay your videographer. You should pay your videographer to do it for you, and they'll probably use
Yes.
AI as the point, Lee. Um, so my point is like then they can do all the post production afterwards.
Right.
I mean, they just do all the post production, and now you've got a video. And the more you do this, the more frequently you do this, the better you're going to get it. But this is a if you think about Lee, the plan for a second, come back to listing attraction plan, like Monday through Wednesday, like the emails and social and text, that's for your checking account. That's us getting you money right now, right?
Right.
Thursday and Friday is for your savings
Nice.
or miraculously your investment account. Like let's make some investments in our brand so that everything else becomes easier down the line. All right. This is a 30-minute call. We're 6 minutes over. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you are next thing, wear the Christmas tree. Nick, I appreciate that. Listen, I had to do a lot of trade-offs with my wife to get rid of that thing. I mean, there was a lot of sacrifices I had to make to convince her to take that thing down. So, yeah, thankfully you will not see that until probably, I don't know, maybe September of next year.
Yeah, right.
That's we got a 6 month hiatus to the Christmas tree.
Nick actually ran a poll the day that Jimmy said he took it down. So
Oh man, yeah, I know.
we got 6 months off.
So
Easter
no,
tree.
no, no, no Easter tree. Well, don't give her any ideas. I'm not gonna give you her cell phone, Nick, her number, Nick, because she will put that thing back up in a heartbeat. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you so much for being a part of this community. I can't say much about this, okay, but we have some massive, massive, massive news coming in March of this year along with a whole series of product improvements for listing leads. And one thing that I know to be true is we have got the feedback from you. We want more ability to create local content. And actually, in the chat, let me know, like, is local content really important to your business? Just put a W in the chat. Like, I mean, that's probably the number one bit of feedback people give. Hey, we love the plan. We want to be able to, what's the best approach to helping make it more local? Okay, we got really big news for you because we are working very hard behind the scenes to make that possible. And you've seen me, if you saw me in the Facebook group, post that example from Scott about what we did with Scott's market data and the visuals that we turned it into. I mean, if you saw that is, I mean, that kind of gives you a really deep sense of like where our heads are at. So we are going to help you build up your local marketing machine because you got to market where it matters. Meaning you got to create local content and you got to market it locally. And so we are going to help you do that in a way that is just totally as you expect from listing leads, easy, fast, simple, and above all else, high quality. So on that note, we appreciate everybody on today's call. We will see you next. Oh, I'm sorry. We're actually off next week because it's President's Week. So we'll do a post in the group. We'll do President's Day next Monday. So we will see you in 2 weeks. We will see you in 2 weeks. And please, 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 everybody who said yes to doing the bonus text, right? The bonus text, everyone who said yes, report back your results in the Facebook Mastermind group. Don't let Nashville Nick take up all the airtime here, folks. Let's get some other wins in there and share. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.